Hi everyone, this is a pick a card reading for the next 7 days. So this is a timeless reading from whenever you are watching it, and we are going to have a look and see what is coming through for the next 7 days for you. So we've got these 4 beautiful groups. We've got group 1 here with this beautiful sky blue coloration, and we've also got these crystals as well, which sort of match, and then we've got here group 2 with the sort of emerald green deck, and then we've got some crystals to match. Then we've got group 3 with the black, and you've also got the black tourmaline here as well, and of course the crystals to match. And then of course we've got yellow, so we've got the citrine crystals as well, and that's group number 4. So whichever groups you are most feeling, you may be drawn to more than one, I will say that. And I would say for this reading, it's okay if you want to choose more than one group, go for it. And yeah, the timestamps will be in the description box below. You can check them out and then you can watch your reading. Also in the description box is information for private readings, so if you would like a private paid reading with me, all the information's down there. Very easy to purchase and always done very promptly, so within 24 hours they're usually done. And also the other thing I wanted to mention is if you wanted to win a free reading, all the information for the giveaway is always down below. And of course my Etsy store is, well, it's on Etsy, and the link is also in the description box below, not the comment section, the description box, which is just below the title of my video. So yes, my Etsy store has beautiful decoration pieces, charms, letters, also has face masks, beaded bracelets, necklaces, anklets, tassels, pom-poms, loads of items, things that you can put under your pillow, teas, just a whole array of spiritual items which so many of you have seen results with. Thank you so much for your love and your support. And of course, if you want to see how people have seen results with these items, check out the review section on my Etsy store, and that's all there. So yeah, definitely do check that out. So we're going to start first of all with group 1 right here, and then we'll move on to the rest of the groups. Alright, so let's begin there. I'm just going to take away all of these cards. By the way, I forgot to mention as well, actually I'll mention it in each of the group readings, no worries. I'll just do that, it's so much easier. Okay, so let's just move these to the side. Oh, I'm not actually even sure I did that. Let's bring it back. I was like, wait a second, there's like nothing left. Okay, there we go. Right, just do that with this. Alright, group number 1, the next 7 days. Let's see what is coming through and what messages I can give to you as well. So this is the pile that you have chosen with the blue, as you can see here. This deck I actually made myself, and yeah, I just wanted to mention that if you wanted to print out this version, because that's what I did, I printed them out and I laminated them, then you can check out my Etsy store. There's a downloadable on there. So yeah, if you wanted to purchase it, feel free, and then you can print them at home. And yes, you are allowed to use the imagery, by the way, because Rider Waite is actually the public domain, so hence of course loads of other tarot decks and things like that, they actually very much so get inspired by the deck and use the imagery, so it's just something to keep in mind. It's in the public domain. So let's have a look and we'll see what the next 7 days bring you. These are your crystals right here, so let's just place them there. Very, very beautiful, very light and airy. So we've got here the codependency, we've got the happiness, we've got the freedom, and yes, these are all elements taken from tarot. We've got the victory, you've got the secrets, the harmony, the reflection, the pyramid, technically pyramids, plural, Yes, I know there is a spelling error, by the way, on that one. Don't worry, I have fixed that. It's just that I need to redo it. It's one of those things, okay? Illustrator doesn't have spell check. Okay, and then we've got here the offer. We've got the progress. We've got the perspective. And we've got the fear. Or the lion, let's say. So, what I am picking up here for you over the next 7 days is that there's a lot of back and forth, right? There's a lot of back and forth in terms of your true self. There's a lot of back and forth in terms of thinking about the past. There's this back and forth that leads to a breakthrough, which I think actually is very, very good, right? So there's a lot here that's happening in terms of what you're thinking and what you're feeling, your perspective. The codependency here shows that some of you do have maybe codependency issues, right? Where you're trying to get through them and perhaps not really depend so heavily on someone or something. And so that is very, very clear here, especially with the codependency card, is that you're trying to break away from these notions of having to depend on someone or feeling like your worth depends on someone, whether that's romantically, friendship-wise, family-wise. You're kind of battling with yourself in that sense, and you're figuring out, okay, how can I break away from that? The happiness here actually does show that you will find happiness over the next 7 days, and you'll find a way to really cope with your emotions and your thoughts. The secrets also shows that somebody's secrets could be revealed to you, and the week coming up, very much so, regardless of actually when you're watching this, I think is going to really show you people's true characters, and you're going to think to yourself, wow, maybe I really can't depend on these kinds of people, because actually no one's perfect. People tend to hide things, people tend to do things, and actually the person I really can trust here is myself. And that's what you're going to be thinking over the next 7 days, is actually the person I can trust is me. So let me give myself maximum energy, maximum strength. So here you are, conquering your fear over the next 7 days, becoming stronger, understanding that your perspective here with this triangle, okay, which by the way, actually, we've got some interesting cards, because this perspective, this right here, is actually on the Temperance card, right, in tarot, and so is this one here with the 2 cups, right? So that's really interesting, is that your perspective is actually bringing you harmony, it's bringing you peace, it is bringing you a sense of, okay, like I can get myself together. For those of you that have been in triangles, you're starting to understand that actually you want harmony, so it's bringing you the complete opposite, that perhaps what you're in and the situation you're in is actually not harmony, it's not peace, it's the opposite of what you're actually wanting and manifesting. So it's something to keep in mind. I see here freedom, right? We see a breakthrough, we see progress, which is lovely. I see progress for many of you in terms of your careers as well. For those of you searching for an opportunity, there is a breakthrough, there is some kind of victory that we pick up here, there's a celebration. Some of you could have birthdays, or there could be a special event coming up, but the victory is more so about your personal revelation. Is that the right word to use? I just feel like there's a sense of moving forward, progressing, even with the offer as well. You can have a job opportunity. There could be an opportunity here in regards to connecting to someone, so it could be romantically. This really does point out a lot towards your personal strength and your personal confidence and where you're going and where you're headed and the things coming your way, which I think actually is very, very special in so many ways, like really, really wonderful to see. So the real deal that I see here, especially with these cards, is that there is a lot of progress and secrets will be revealed. People's feelings and thoughts that they're keeping hidden can also be revealed. But you have got here the sun and the moon energies, and this shows here that despite any secrets being revealed, despite any codependency, despite any issues and problems, you are reflecting and becoming much stronger. And you've got here the pyramid as well, and that really reminds me actually of the perspective card as well, right? So to me, any kind of triangles that you're involved with, okay, this can also be to do with business and things like that, you're finding a way to make it work for yourself. Also, some of you might be like looking into things which could be a little bit fishy, like pyramid schemes. Stay away from that. Just saying, okay? There's some like fishy things that could be happening behind the scenes, and you're breaking out of that, and you're finding your victory, and you're finding your freedom. If it seems too good to be true, check it out, see it, believe it, okay? Sometimes you have to, and that's what I'm seeing. But you're also attracting more abundance your way. See, the reflection here is about your personal growth and your personal development and how you want to move forward. And I see you really going forward in that sense. And also, I see here that you may also find with the Freedom card as well that it just brings you a sense of peace, a real sense of peace. And that's what I'm picking up here as well. So you're progressing, things are moving forward. There's nothing dramatic, I feel, aside from the fact that some secrets could be revealed, which just brings you more peace. It's like some of you could already just feel like, okay, well, I kind of saw that coming anyways. But there's a real sense of your perspective also bringing you harmony, right? How you see things and the amount of growth and how much you've built up over the course of time. You just want to not have, water ruining all the ink on the paper. It's that kind of vibe. So that is essentially what I see over the next 7 days, is things coming together, a lot of progression in that sense. Let's get a few tarot cards out as well. There's a lot of inner thinking, basically, that's happening, especially with the secrets card, secrets being revealed, codependencies. There's a lot of inner work that I see happening, but there's also opportunities and a sense of victory and a breakthrough in your personal emotions, can be in your career, in your relationships. Okay. You've got here Page of Cups, so there's an opportunity here that I pick up on. There's also a sense of playfulness, adventure, spontaneously talking to certain people, or spontaneously having interest in them. Look at that, you've got the Wheel of Fortune here. Same card here, right? Similar. You've got the Wheel here as well, so there's a real sense of victory and progression, which we pick up on, right? A lot of progress, also abundance-wise as well, so an opportunity that can bring you abundance. Abundance doesn't just come in the form of money, it does also come in the form of mental health, prosperity in that sense, emotional health, feeling good, things like that. So you've also got the Three of Pentacles, which is teamwork and collaboration. So again, a very strong card with the 3 there. I also noticed 3 birds here. So some of you are thinking about situations where you might feel like you're in a bit of a triangle. This again doesn't have to be just romantic. It can also be feeling triangulated with like a co-worker and feeling like, why is my boss giving more to them than me? Like, why do I feel like I have to work for it, or things like that? Like, you may feel like you're in a bit of a triangle. Triangles can occur in so many other forms as well, something to keep in mind, but your work is being recognized nonetheless. All right, so that's something to keep in mind. Let's get one more card out. Let's go with that one. 6 of Cups, yeah, opportunities here, also memories as well, right? Memories with someone, which could have led to codependency. So there's a sense of victory here nonetheless, and there is an offer, which we pick up with that 6 of Cups. There's an offer in regards to something. I actually feel like for many of you, this is an offer in terms of love, but it can also be an offer in terms of your career, because there's a focus on career, but there's also a focus on the emotional aspects of relationships that you have in your life as well, whether those are personal relationships or professional relationships. Okay, so that's what we've got there. So let's go to the charms and see. So we're going to get letters. We are also going to do charms. So let's go with the letters. This could spell out the initials of people around you. This could also spell out the words as well that could make sense over the next 7 days. Also, one second. Just keep in mind as well that if you watch tarot readings a lot on YouTube as well, you may find that over the next 7 days, a lot of these elements that we've seen here, or these 4 cards specifically, might get repeated a lot in your tarot readings. Keep that in mind, because it can happen. You may find that the card, for example, that has this has come out a lot in your readings. You might find that the 6 of Wands has come out a lot. You may find that, again, like, for example, just a lot of these symbols could come out. For example, if you've got this in your reading, you might see the Wheel of Fortune a lot in readings that you watch outside of this reading. Does that make sense? Or even cards that you pull for yourself, for example. Okay, so we've got the Q. We've got a Q and a Q. We got an A, so that's interesting. Question answer. Perhaps there's that going on. We've got here an S. There we go. S, T, So we also got fast as well. Some of you might be really wanting to focus on your health and your vitality, right? So there's a perspective to that as well in terms of the triangle. You might be focusing on your body and your health and perhaps even your image. It's something to keep in mind. We've got here an O, we've got a Z or a Z, and we've also got a D as well. Also with fast as well, it's almost like, you know, you do want progression to happen faster, and that could also lead to impatience at certain points as well. So again, something to keep in mind. Now let's go for charms. Oh, we've got the little ones this time. So we've got the Celtic cross, I believe that's what it is right here. All right. It's almost like things are coming together, things are getting like woven together, and something strong is being built here. We've got here the Om sign as well. So again, there is some emphasis here on your spiritual path, but also you getting so much stronger and finding that peace, right? That freedom, that peace, that victory in that sense. You've got a feather here, which you can see there. Feather means that you are protected. We also have here a kangaroo. So this is protection, but also this is breaking out of codependency, right? So it's interesting here. You've got the moon kind of going around, well, the moon. But here you've got a kangaroo and a little one right there. So this is about codependency and breaking out of it. We've got the dog, which symbolizes loyalty, right? But not loyal to the point where it takes over who you are, let's say. Then you've also got a star here as well, which I think represents also faith, having faith. And you've got the key here, which is unlocking goals. We've got the angel, which shows protection. Okay, so you're going to feel very protected, but also very wise and very knowledgeable. So you're going to feel good about yourself, and you're going to think about the loyalty that you have and how you do things for others, but also how much you give to yourself as well. So you're really going to put yourself first is what I'm seeing. And yes, so that's the next 7 days. It was a bit of a strange one, not going to lie. Like it wasn't... you know, like you're going to do this and you're going to do that. It was more so also about like your emotions and how you're going to be dealing with things more so. So this is your reading. If this resonated, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video. Check out the description box for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, things like that. You can also download this deck on my Etsy store if you are interested, and you can print them out yourself. Pretty affordable actually to do in that sense. And yeah, so take care everyone, and I will see you all very, very soon. Okay, let's take away these letters. Okay. All right. Group number 2, this is your reading with me for the next 7 days. So you have chosen this beautiful green pile, and I'm going to put the crystals right here. I'm actually going to make a little line out of all of them. So that's what we've got there. So let's have a look and see what we have here. All right, so let's see. So you've got here the wand. You've got the anxiety. You've got the knowledge. The confusion. You've got the love, the sunflower, the curtain, the karma, the balance, the retreat, the hope, and the sunrise. All right, so I just want to mention as well before we start with the reading that this is a deck that I have made myself, and Rider Waite is in the public domain, so of course you can be inspired by their imagery and you can actually use certain elements of their imagery as well, because it's in the public domain. Hence, of course, you see so many decks that are like Rider Waite, and so many publishers come up with their own versions and things like that, and you see this kind of same imagery over and over again published in like different decks, because they're allowed to do that. And yeah, so yeah, this is one that I've made. You can also print this out and actually make it, well, yeah, print it out and like stick it together at home if you wanted to. It's available on my Etsy store if anyone wants to download it and print it. So I thought I'd mention that. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is essentially the veil or the curtain is going to be pulled back on something for you, group number 2. And that's what I see here with the curtain. Like, there's hidden things that are going to come to light over the next 7 days, especially with the karma as well. It's almost like you know, what goes around comes around, not necessarily for you, but for like someone else very close to you. So it's almost like you may have like warned someone, like, you know, just be honest, just be truthful, just be yourself. And they were like, no. And so something gets unveiled to you. You know, perhaps they were hiding something or doing certain things. So the curtain is almost like, it's not even a surprise. You know, the curtains come back and you're like, all right, you know, I kind of saw that that was happening. So it can trigger in you some frustration. It can also trigger in you some anxiety as well. I see that here. But I also see here this here with the knowledge, right? And the knowledge here really goes to show that it's almost like you just know, right? You just know. It comes from the High Priestess, we know, especially here. This is, you know, the High Priestess's faith, essentially. And it's almost like you just know that, okay, this person was going to do this. And it's also, it's kind of laughable in many ways, even though it's not, okay? But it's kind of laughable because it just goes to show how strong your intuition is, and that maybe believing in yourself a little bit more really can allow you to avoid certain challenges and certain situations that are a little bit more, you know, just, it's kind of like you just know. So one thing I will say is that the wand here shows, right, that something like comes together in a way that you didn't really feel like it would, and then on the other hand, someone does something and the curtain, like the veil, comes off. So if you're being treated really badly by someone, say for example at work or in your family, and they just continuously get away with it, something for you over the next 7 days comes together and something for them falls apart. That's karma, which is very interesting, right? Because you reap what you sow. But also if you've just always felt like you were unseen and neglected, or someone was treating you not very nice and they consistently did it without even thinking about it, it's almost like they start to get their karma over the next 7 days. So things start to come together for you, but they fall apart from them. But that also triggers anxiety in you because you don't want things necessarily to fall apart from them, because you're a good person. You don't really want bad for someone else. But that's just something I'm picking up here. All right, so that's what I see, the knowledge. You're not surprised, you knew it in your gut, you knew it in your heart, but it creates confusion because you're like, okay, well, I don't really want this for them anyways, I don't want them to feel bad, but on the other hand, I don't want to feel bad. And it's almost like you feel like, okay, well, at least they are getting what they deserve, but I don't want them to do that, you know, I wish that it didn't happen for them this way. But it's almost like they have to also learn, right? They have to learn. So that's interesting. If someone's treated you really badly, they get some form of karma over the next 7 days. The love is the love card here is also about many of you who have someone around, or you have a crush on someone. The feelings are getting much stronger towards you, especially with the sunflower as well. It's like things are blooming. There's a lot of solar energy. We see that with all the yellow here as well, especially with the sunrise. It's almost as though their solar plexus chakras are getting stronger, and that solar energy also from the sun is allowing a lot of growth to happen, a lot of progression to happen. It's allowing for love to flow. There's harmony here, especially with the balance card as well. So there is that energy. You've also got the retreat, so you may spend a lot of time you know, doing things by yourself or doing things with someone else and kind of just retreating and relaxing, and that's, you know, a real vibe that we pick up on. The hope also shows here for some of you. You may have gone through perhaps even a what do you call it? A separation, right? Separation or a breakup, or and it's something that it really is on your mind. And again, that can very much so tie into the fact that, you know, perhaps someone has treated you not very nicely over the course of time, or done something not very nice towards you in that sense. And look, they're getting their karma here over the next 7 days. And on your side, you may have a lot of hope for this particular situation, because it's almost like, you know, you don't want them to suffer, but you know that they've made you suffer. So then there's that sort of you're confused, right? You're torn between the two. And so this retreating energy also kind of gives you hope, like, okay, now maybe they'll get themselves together and come forward in a much better way, when maybe the sun will rise, in a much more positive way, and you'll actually enjoy the sunrise rather than crying over the sunrise. Does that make sense? Because there are some days you might look out the window and feel really happy about something that's happened, and then one day you look out the window and feel like, oh no, I don't want to look at the sunrise today. It's one of those things. So yeah. And also, you chose the green pile. The green pile, of course, we know is also very much so to do with nature. So you may spend a lot of time in nature, going for a walk or going for a run or planting things, gardening, things like that. But also you may be eating a lot of green foods. Green really is the color, I feel. Green is also about bloom and growth. Green is also the color of the heart chakra. So you're keeping your heart open, especially with the love energy here. But there's definitely this element of karma that we're really picking up on. It's almost like justice gets served in a very interesting way, and that's essentially what's happening here. But with these two cards as well, you may feel like you're a little bit isolated at times, and you're kind of more in your energy than anything else. So that's something to just keep in mind. So let's go with tarot. Okay, let's see. Oh gosh, we got so many cards. Okay, so I'm not going to take these 3 that have fallen out randomly. You're aiming for 4, so wow. Okay, we got 2 queens here. Look at that power. Incredible. So the Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, this is you just knowing deep down in your heart what you've known, all right? And now the only difference is it's coming to light. So the Queen of Cups is about owning your vulnerability and trying to get through anything emotionally that you're facing with just knowing that you are who you are, and that makes you strong, not weak. And also the Queen of Cups here is about knowing your worth, which I see here you're focusing a lot on your self-esteem as well, because look, the Queen has the most incredible cup in tarot. But when you look at tarot, right, your eyes don't just go straight to the Queen of Cups cup, right? It's just so understated, but it's just there, and it's there, and it makes a statement when you see it. So it's about you owning, what you know and how you are. It makes you special. Queen of Swords is about your boundaries, and it is about not letting people walk all over them. So for example, if this person's treated you very badly, which there is someone here that's not treated you very well, trust me, they get their karma. But because you're such a good person, it's almost like you don't want that to happen to them, right? But also at the same time, it's the universe telling you that, you have to also stand up for yourself and defend yourself as well, especially when people don't treat you right. So it's really about putting yourself first. You've got the King of Wands here as well. And the King of Wands is about, again, this proactive energy of things working in over the next 7 days, right? Things are coming to light. It's almost like you found your personal power again. And it can also be very much so that there is just this sense of like, all right, like this is the universe telling me that it's, things are going to be okay. Things are coming together. There's a sense of knowledge here with the Queen of Swords, things that you've already known. And it's about trusting yourself when you make decisions, trusting the people you are around. Trust it with your gut and your intuition. Your gut is warning you, right, of people that are safe for you, people that are not safe for you. So it's also about judging that on that basis. And you've got the Ten of Swords, right? So there can be some form of perhaps ending that you've had to go through, especially with this card here, the anxiety, right? There's some form of ending that perhaps you've had to go through, and essentially it's bringing you more peace and more balance. And there's no reason why this particular thing can't come back around, but what I'm trying to say here is that there's a reason this has happened, and sometimes it's better for us to kind of digest and understand and heal and progress and move forward rather than ruminate on it constantly. Even though that's okay, it is about making sure you take yourself to a better place and just know that, okay, this is the worst of it. Let me get through it. I will get through it because time does heal. But also to just know that if someone's treated you really badly, then it's not about giving them a free pass just because you feel bad for them. It's also about understanding how you should be treated as well. All right, so that is that. And we're going to go to the charms now and the letters. So let's go with the letters first. Alright, so this can be initials of people around you over the next 7 days or things that happen. This can also spell out certain words as well. Actually, let's go with these. So we've got a H, a P, G, C, A, another C, another A, Z, R, and another Z or a Z, depending on where you live, right? So I'm seeing here car, yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing, but I'm sure most of you can get some words out of that for sure, because you know your eyes might just go straight to a certain word and it might be something I haven't picked up on, but also this can be initials. All right, so I just thought I would mention that. I'm just seeing car basically. But yeah, wow, you know, sometimes I just like pull out so many and I can just make loads of words, and today it's just like okay, I don't really see much there, even though there is quite a bit. But let me go now to the charms. Okay, well, you've got here 3, you've got a butterfly, which is about transformation, all right, and I see that here, I really do. I see that you're transforming and becoming much stronger, because when I look at the Queen of Swords crown, I keep seeing butterflies. I don't know if anyone else can see it, but, you know, I see butterflies, so I really feel like, you know, your crown, essentially, with your male or female, is basically made of like transformation. Transformation is what brings change. Transformation is what makes people stronger, and so you may feel like sometimes you're in a bit of a cocoon, let's say, right? Like a caterpillar, when it goes into the cocoon, it's like all dark, but then when things come to light, it's like, wow, there's a sense of transformation. The caterpillar has turned into a butterfly. How special is that? So you're turning into a butterfly here, which just goes to show the amount of strength and the amount of resilience and the amount of confidence that you have, which is taking you further forward. You've also got here the blue crystal. Now this is about communication, all right, and that's pretty strong here because you've got the wand, you've also got the Queen of Swords right there as well, and the King of Wands, and this really shows that when you're communicating with people over the next 7 days, you are really doing it for yourself, and you are standing up for yourself, you're putting yourself first, and it also is bringing you a lot of respect from other people, and I will say that that's a very good thing. Okay, you're not bending over backwards for people over the next 7 days. Of course you care for people, right? So you'll be there to help them, but if there's someone that's constantly taking advantage of you, I don't feel like you are going to stand down. Does that make sense? And then you've also got here as well the emoji. There's a little heart that's kind of just stuck behind the glasses, but yeah, you've got the heart eyes emoji as well. So this is, I don't know, this is about you relaxing, retreating, taking care of yourself. You may also have heart eyes for someone here, but also make sure you also take off your rose tinted glasses, okay? Because you might have been seeing someone with these rose tinted glasses and kind of excusing certain ways that they treated you or certain things they did towards you. I think it's about time to take off those rose tinted glasses and to really put yourself first, because you may have put on those rose tinted glasses and just try to excuse the things that they've done. But here you are now. I feel like you're going to take those off. I feel like there is a sense of transformation happening over the next 7 days where you are also regaining that particular balance as well, and you are rising. Just like how the sun rises and how it sets, you are also rising and you have hope. Perhaps of certain things coming together, especially here, but I also feel like that is, you know, the Hermit's Lantern, which is also about your own personal energy, and at times feeling perhaps isolated, doing things by yourself, and knowing that at the end of the day, you have got yourself. So this is your reading, group number 2. If this resonates, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out the description box below, which has got information for private paid readings, free reading giveaway, intention items which are on Etsy, so that's all there. And of course, if you wanted to print out this particular deck and put it together yourself, then of course that's also on Etsy as well, everyone. So take care, stay safe, and we're going to go now to group number 3. Alright, so just going to take away these letters. I'm going to take all of these away. All right, group number 3. This is your reading with me for the next 7 days. I kind of match a little bit with your reading. We've got the grey and the black and a bit of the gold coming through. So let's have a look and see what the next 7 days is bringing you. All right, so just going to put your crystals there and let's see. All right, so the next 7 days for you, we have here the protection, the sadness. I'll talk about this deck as well in just a little bit as well, because I know I'm going to get questions about it. So we've also got the luck, the rainbow, the loyalty, the progress, the infinity, the pain, the growth, the decision, the release, and the transformation. Okay, there's a huge decision that you are making over the next 7 days, which I think is very evident here. So I just want to quickly mention as well, this deck I've actually made, and if anyone wants to print it out, it is available on my Etsy store, so you can download it and print it yourself. And also the other thing I want to mention as well is that the Rider-Waite deck is in the public domain, so you can actually use the imagery. You're very much so allowed to do that, of course, because so many other companies and publishers use their imagery to make their own versions of Rider-Waite by using the same kinds of images. So of course that is allowed, and yeah, so that's on my Etsy store. So what I see here for you guys, especially group number 3, is that you're making a very difficult decision. It's almost like you've had loyalty towards someone, but they've caused you a lot of sadness, all right? And this person could have just been really not nice to you, right? Causing you so much grief, so much sadness, and at times it's almost like you felt like, all right, cool, that energy is building up to a rainbow, and sometimes it feels really good, but when it feels bad, it feels like the worst thing ever. It's almost like there's no satisfactory energy necessarily. It's just very high and it's very low. It's very high, very low, and it's just not something that's like stable. So a lot of you here are thinking about your loyalty that you have towards certain people. You're thinking about how they make you feel. Do they intimidate you? Do they patronize you? And I really feel like you're distancing yourself away from people that are just not nice to you. And that is something I pick up here, because you really want someone who is consistent, right? The rainbow is consistent. The sadness, it's frustrating if it's consistent, right? So I see here the protection here really shows that you are protected by your angels and your guides, and to seek support if you feel like you need it, which means you can pray to them, you can ask them for signs and synchronicities. And the protection card here is also about taking care of yourself. So over the next 7 days, I feel like you may do things like meditate or sage, you may do Reiki, you may watch, readings to try and, get a sense of like certain things in your life. You may also keep crystals around with you as well. Black crystals would be great actually, because it can actually draw out negative energy, right? So it can protect you from the evil eye, it can protect you from certain spiritual energies that are not great, things like that. So highly recommend that. But also I really feel like you are doing everything you can to protect yourself, to protect your own energy, or to protect others around you. So there's a lot of protection stuff going on here. And then also the sadness here is something that you just don't want to continue. So that is why you're wondering about your loyalty, you're trying to figure it out, and you are trying to do the best you can for yourself. So the luck here is very much so about recognizing, realizing that you are lucky. You've got a lot of, you have got some good things going on for you. There can be some opportunities that arise as well. And what I'm seeing here also with the luck is that if you say goodbye to one thing, whether it's a certain person romantically, or whether it's a friend or a family member that you're distancing yourself from, life can reward you with someone else that could come through and give you that good energy as well. That's the luck, all right? There's lots of fish in the sea. With family, it's a little different, but you can still find people who embody that energy, right? So the luck here is knowing that there's plenty of fish in the sea. You don't have to bend over backwards and give your loyalty to someone who is not necessarily always there for you and doing what is best for you, or giving you the kind of energy that you need, that you would also give to them. So that's what I see here. And then also the progress here is about you working very hard, really, really hard, very, very hard, trying to get your work together. Consistency is really there, so that shows progress in terms of your work life, but also education, because some of you might be in education. The infinity here is also showing that what goes around comes back around. So if you're wondering about this person that's causing you sadness, like, oh, maybe it will just change, I feel like they have a habit of like repeating the same cycle over and over again. So again, it's something to keep in mind. There's someone very obvious, by the way, in your energy that is not treating you very well, and you'll know who that person is, again, whether it's romantically or a friend, because remember, I'm doing a general reading. So of course, you know, for some of you it's going to be someone romantically, for some of you it's going to be a friend, for some of you it's a family member, for some of you it's like a random stranger. So you know, keep that in mind. This person doesn't change their habits too soon, and they just tend to go in a cycle for a very long time. So it causes you a lot of pain, as we see here. The growth there is about your personal growth and finally being able to step up and just do the best for yourself and to look after yourself in the way that you know you need to have things be. So this is about you putting yourself first, and the decision here shows that you may make a decision to, well, to release the person, right? So I feel like there is a release, there is some healing, there is some moving forward. For some of you, this could have also been a separation, for example, that may have happened. So there's an energy of releasing, moving forward, distancing yourself for your own personal growth. And also it creates a transformation, because then when you've distanced yourself, you know, there is a different energy around you, and that energy can also be one of protection as well. Remember, when someone kind of disappears from your life, it can also be a sign from the universe saying, okay, well, you don't actually need that person, you can be better off without them. So that's what I'm seeing here. Let's go to tarot. One more. Okay, so yeah, Five of Wands here shows confusion, right? You're like, do I want to do this? Do I not? Is this for me? Is it not? You know, and you're kind of thinking about your loyalty towards this person. You're thinking about the highs and sometimes the lows, and you're just thinking, oh, I don't like the lows. You know, I just don't like the lows. And so you feel confused, conflicted, and you're also wondering if this person's going to change, to which I feel like they're going to kind of loop-de-loop around with the infinity here. So you've got the Knight of Wands. All right, you've also got here the, oh wow, Four of Swords, and then look who we have here, the Death card, and your last card here, and it's, you know, you chose the black pile, and the only black card is the transformation, and it comes from the flag that the Death card holds. There you go, right? So, very obvious transformation. There is a sense of putting an end to something that I see in the next 7 days. It could also be a habit, okay, a very bad habit, just saying. But what I see here is that this can also be to do with a person. It's almost like you want your personal peace, you want your rest, you want to take care of yourself. I see here prayer, I see meditation, right? But I also see you wanting to have control over your emotions, because this Scorpio energy is so intense and it creates a lot of sadness, it creates a lot of frustration. That water is just very intense, and so I feel like you want to release a lot of that energy, and you want to create that transformation and emerge stronger. And that's what I see there with the Knight of Wands, is that you have a lot of ideas of how you want your life to be and the things that you want to do and the ways in which you want to progress. And sometimes you just feel like, you know what, these things are just a bit much. And so that's what I see here, is a lot of growth, a lot of transformation, really focused very heavily on your emotional energy, protecting yourself, and also trying to figure out who's good for you and who really isn't. And that's what I'm picking up here. So let's go now to your charms and of course your letters as well. So these letters can be initials, okay, of another person or for yourself. It can also spell out words as well for your situation over the next 7 days. So let's see. Okay, so we have a G, E, N, R, S, H, F, L, Y. I see here Henry. I also see fly, of course, as well. Do you know what I think of when I think of Henry? I know it sounds a little bit strange, but in the UK we have like a Hoover, which is known as like a vacuum, which is known as Henry the Hoover. So then there's that, you know, like hoovering, which by the way, like hoovering also is a term, you know, when people kind of like come back around and they kind of do the same thing again and things like that. But hoovering also is about like cleaning up, right? And you know, where there's like dust and dirt and debris and God knows what, you know, when you hoover it, it becomes clean. There's like a clean slate. And so that's also something that I'm seeing here, which is interesting. I know it's tied to the name Henry, but hey, you know. So that's what I see there. We didn't quite make up the word generous, to be honest. But yeah, fly as well, that's really interesting. So that's what we see there. Let's go with the charms. Ah, we got a flower, which is really nice. It's actually one of the same flowers here. So we've got this flower, which is about bloom and growth, personal transformation and growth. We've got here love as well. So for a lot of you, this situation could be love related. We also have here the kangaroo as well. So you've got this little... Some of you, this could be family as well, right? Because you've got the kangaroo with the little one right there. We've got here bags as well. So you may feel like this person, it's getting to a point where it feels like baggage. It just feels very difficult. And we also have here bags and fly. So are some of you going away on a trip, or are you traveling or going abroad or thinking about going abroad, or is this person long distance? It's interesting as well. And then you've also got here time as well. Some of you are thinking, should I give this more time? Should I see where it goes? It's your choice, really, what you choose to do. But I feel like for a lot of you, time has run out. And you just feel like, you know what, this person keeps doing the same thing over and over again. So why give them more time? And so I feel like for a lot of you, you've just lost your patience here, especially with the death card. It causes so much sadness and frustration that you're like, come on, you know, it's a lot. So, group number 3, this is your reading. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, Etsy store, which is linked down below. Also, the downloadable printable deck is available on there if you're interested. There's also loads of other items on there, and take care, everyone. Alright, so let's now go to the next reading. So let's take these away. Okay. Ta-da! Alright, group number 4, this is your reading. So we're going to see what's coming through for the next 7 days, and you have chosen this beautiful yellow pile. So let's see what's coming through. I'm just going to put your crystals here, the citrine. You've got the heart here as well, so beautiful. Yellow is just such a happy colour. Really is. Of course, it's the colour of solar energy, solar plexus, and we know the solar energy comes from the sun. So let's see. Next 7 days, we've got here the teamwork. And I will just talk a little bit about the deck in just a second, because I know I'm going to get so many questions about it. We've got the roller coaster. We have here the phases. We've got the fall. We have the divine. The window, the movement. Oh, sorry. No, these are laminated, so the light always just kind of catches them in an angle, the movement. We've got here the work. We have the intuition. Put that right there. We've got the significance. The thoughts. And we have the belongings. Okay, here we go. So, First of all, I just quickly want to mention about the deck is that this is one that I've made myself. If you wanted to download it and print it, it's available on my Etsy store, so do check it out. It is on there, and also I am allowed to use the imagery from the Rider-Waite deck because Rider-Waite is actually in the public domain, so I thought I'd just mention that as well. When you see a lot of other decks as well, you see a lot of people have like copied the Rider-Waite deck, and that's because, well, it's pretty much allowed. Otherwise, you know, of course, there would be like so many copyright issues and stuff like that. But it's actually in the public domain, so that's why you see so many publishers actually use the imagery from Rider-Waite and things like that. Otherwise, you know, they wouldn't be allowed to do so. So yeah, if you wanted to print it out, download it, it's on my Etsy store. Link is in the description box below. All right, so this is what we have. Now, the teamwork is really showing a lot of teamwork. So you may have some collaborations, you might be trying to set things up, you might be trying to make things work in terms of essentially collaborating or trying to get people around you to see how hard you're working. It's almost like you're trying to show them, look at my capabilities, look at what I'm doing a very good job. Look, right? So a lot of teamwork, a lot of collaborating here that I'm seeing over the next 7 days. You may also be thinking about like setting something up for yourself. Some of you might have ideas for your own businesses and things like that. I really see you getting to work, and I see you also working with others. So that's something to keep in mind. We've got the roller coaster here. We've also got the phases and the fall. So something could have happened very recently that just makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like I just fell and it was really not nice. Some of you might literally have fallen, okay? But some of you, it could be over the next 7 days that you do have a bit of a fall. So just take care of yourself, because you know, sometimes when we know things are going to happen, we can actually avoid them altogether. So it's just something to keep in mind. But the fall also does mean like the rise after the fall. So for some of you who have already fallen and you feel like, oh my God, you know, it's just not a nice situation. I'm not talking physically falling, but like, you know how certain situations happen in life and then you're like, oh, that was, you know, that was not nice. It felt like I fell, you know, and fell and then I had to get up, you know. They talk metaphorically, let's say. Then this is about you rising. Okay, so the fall here really shows that something could have happened in your life that was quite dramatic, heartbreaking, painful, sad. So the roller coaster here shows a lot of emotions, right? And the phases here shows that you will get through this. That's what I'm seeing over the next 7 days, is you getting through any problems and challenges that you've had to face. Say, for example, right, somebody left you, because that could have been something that has happened. You're getting through things with the phases and the cycles. This is the High Priestess's crown, which is made up of the moon phases, and it really goes to show that using your intuition, using your strength, using the support of the divine, and knowing that you're protected and asking and praying to them for help, advice, is going to really help you and for you to feel so much more protected. A lot of you might be kind of looking out the window and kind of having these thoughts, and you know, you may at times feel maybe lonely, you may feel frustrated, you may feel sad, but also just know that you are protected by the divine, and anything that is meant for you will never pass you by. Difficult situations, from that you will rise. And that's what I see here, okay? For some of you, you may have gone through a separation, because I see here the belongings as well. So you may have had to pick up your belongings or return certain belongings, or you may have had to pack up your belongings because some of you may have moved, and you know, there could have been that energy as well. So it's just something to keep in mind. That could have felt like a roller coaster, and also, you know, part of like many phases and feeling like you've fallen, but the divine is protecting you from something much, much greater. And no matter how alone you feel, right, the significance here is showing that you are protected. And so over the next 7 days, your energy is getting so much more stronger, clearer. Solar energy is feeding into it. Of course, we've got a lot of this yellow here as well, which means that it's feeding life into your life. Does that make sense? It's feeding life into your life. There's a lot of growth happening here. So it's something that I really see, okay? Like there's growth here. Like you see here on these wands, you've got these little leaves growing on it. There's life that's being fed into things. The work here shows that you're very focused on work, you're focused on getting things together, you're focused on doing the job. The movement shows that regardless of what's happening emotionally in your life, you are moving forward, you are continuing, you are growing, you're becoming stronger, you're following your intuition, which is leading you to bigger and better things. So that's something to really keep in mind. And the thoughts here show that your thoughts are very, very powerful. And with your thoughts, you will be able to move forward. You'll be able to make the most of your situations, your challenges, your difficulties, anything that you face. You will very much so be able to move past some of those thoughts that can also sometimes, you know, thoughts can be very, very draining, but you'll be able to move past that and you'll be able to feel so much stronger. And the significance of that is huge as well, because the Four of Wands, right? That's what that's what the card comes from, or this comes from that card, is also about being on the right path in your life. So it's about following your gut, following your intuition, and also just knowing that where you're going is so much stronger than where you've been. And that is something that I think is very much so the main topic of the next 7 days for you, is where you're going is better than where you have been, all right? The rise comes after the fall. Something dramatic could have happened also in the fall time, like the fall season. So something to also keep in mind as well. Okay, so let's have a look with 4 of these cards. So we've got here Page of Swords as well. Okay, so we've got the 5 of Wands, right? So something chaotic, confusing, annoying, you know, could have happened before, but I feel like there's change from what's happened to what's going to happen. Okay, I know I'm talking about the next 7 days, but there's obviously something that has happened that's very clearly impacting the next 7 days. So that's something to keep in mind. Perhaps you were rejected by someone, or you feel very rejected by someone, or you feel rejected in regards to a career opportunity or an opportunity of some sort. So it's almost like you're trying to prove yourself. You're trying to prove yourself to people, you're trying to prove yourself in other ways. That's what I pick up here, which actually shows how strong you really are. Then we've got here Judgment as well, so you've had to make some kind of decision. There could have been, again, some kind of moving energy, as I see here, because you have got movement, you've got the belongings. Judgment here is about making choices and decisions that make you feel good and taking action for yourself. The Page of Swords here also shows you doing things for yourself. So again, focusing on your goals, your hobbies, your spiritual path, your career, and trying to shift focus really to yourself and the things that you feel strongest about within yourself. And we see here the Knight of Pentacles. See, slowly but surely things are getting better. Slowly but surely things are moving in the right direction towards abundance. And it may feel like the horse has stopped. It's very temporary. Okay, temporary. What's meant for you will never pass you by. And that's something I want you to know, because over the next 7 days, you may feel like, oh my God, things are super slow. Like, yes, there's movement, but it's very slow. And I kind of am getting a bit triggered here and there with my emotions. But actually, things are progressing and you are going in the right direction. All right, so that's what we have there. Now let's have a look at your letters and your charms. So let's go with the letters. So this could be initials. It can also spell out words for your situation. It could be the initials of someone else. H, V, F, Y, fly. So that's interesting, because we did talk a little bit about movement. So fly, look, you're on the rise, okay? The fall, you're going to rise. You're going to fly. The fly after the fall. We've got an N-N-A-R. C, we've got car as well. And we've got an S, cars. NARS. NARS is a beauty brand, not sponsored by them. Also, narc, like narcissist, right? That's what they're known as short form. And also narcs. Could have been maybe surrounded yourself. Maybe there's some narcissists around you. So that's what we're seeing there. It's like flying away from them. I'm just saying, okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so charms. Oh, not that many. But tell you what, you've got another L here. And you've got 2 reddish crystals. Wow, they're like the same kind of colour. So this to me is showing your root chakra. Your root chakra is all about stability. It's also about security as well, and what you truly, truly want. Not what you think you want, but what you actually really want. And I really feel here that you're becoming a lot more stable within yourself, and you're not just like kind of bending over backwards for anyone. You're putting yourself first, and you are doing what sometimes is hard, but you're doing the right thing. You know, sometimes doing the right thing is the hardest thing, and you're doing exactly just that. You've got here the tree with the roots, so you're paying attention to yourself and your values, and you know that that's the most important thing for you. No, we did not spell out the word value, but almost there. And then you've got here as well a tea. So this is about like relaxing. Some of you might be spending a lot of time, you know, trying to relax and taking care of yourself and having tea and calming, you know, yourself in ways through like herbs and crystals and things like that, like herbal remedies. So something to keep in mind. But that's what I see. I also see like some of you might be going out in nature and taking a walk or eating, you know, plant-based foods and things like that. Just to like regain energy and things like that. So that's what I'm seeing here. This is your reading, group number 4. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out the description box below for information on private paid readings, free reading giveaway, intention items which are on Etsy. The downloadable deck is also on there as well, downloadable, printable. And yes, do check that out and take care everyone. Bye!